Hi guys, it's Mrs. Cameron. I just wanted to go over your first group assignment for our course, and I know you guys will do a great job. So let's get started. So under our course, you're going to see a as a group collaborative art space, and you'll see our first project just like you can see on the screen where it says 2-in-1. And if you click on that, it will take you to the actual assignment. Now, one thing to remember is that each of you will be submitting your own copy of this assignment, so don't think if one group member submits it that that'll be sufficient for you to get a grade for this. So make sure that each person submits their own. So once you go to the assignment, it's essentially a Dropbox, and then you'll see the description of this task right there. I'm going to go through with you right now. I have given you three specific landscapes, so it's three specific images. One of them is from Croatia, from Adriatic coast. One of them is from a landscape from Nigeria. And then last but not the least is a landscape from Canada. And I just try to pick three that I felt were inspiring that you guys can take a look at. I don't know why this is. Let me see if I can click on a different tab, and then hopefully it will come up for us. I don't know why my internet is so slow right now. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is the description of the assignment. So I'm just going to go through it with you nice and slow. So you're going to be placed in a group with 2 or 3 friends from class. And like I said, in teams that you get created with very shortly, you will see who you're with so you can make sure that you connect with them as soon as possible. So this assignment is exactly in a week, so May 2nd. So you have a whole week to get it done. And you are each going to be creating one work of art based on one of the 3 pictures that I have shared with you. All of them are landscapes. And when you're creating your work of art can be a drawing, it can be a painting, it can be a digital art piece, or if you want to make a collage of some sort using found materials or colored paper, that would be totally as well. So each of you will do one of these art pieces. The minimum size is 8.5 by 11, and I just chose a paper size because if you are doing a drawing, then that's the most common size of paper that most of us will have. If you do have an opportunity to have a watercolor paper, or if you're going to be doing an actual painting and you have canvas, that's perfect. So just a small painting. And your idea is to render it as close as possible to what you see. So colors wise and image wise, it should look like the image that I have given you. Once you have completed your work of art, what you're going to do is send it to your friends through the Teams or email it to each other. And then their job is to take your work of art, see what kind of emotion and inspires in them, or what kind of thoughts it inspires in them, and find one inspiring quote or a verse or a piece of a poem that can be placed on top. And you see tons of this on Instagram, right? Like these inspiring messages that people have created. So your message can come from the Bible, it can come from your own faith, if it's from the Quran or from another book that you read, or it can be a poem that you like or a verse of your favorite song from like Billie Eilish or whoever, or it can be a quote that you find is fitting to go with that. So that's something that needs to be placed on top of it digitally. So your job is going to be not only to choose it, but to select the type of font that you feel is fitting. So whether it's going to be cursive or it's going to be very different in that sense, and the type font and color that you're going to choose. And you kind of have to digitally overlay it on top and then return it back to the original person. So if you're in a group of, let's say, 4 people, you're going to have 3 different individuals, 3 different friends from our class provide you with a painting back to you, a work of art with an inspiring message. So essentially, you're submitting 4 things. So once everyone is done and everyone has received their work back from their friends, it may look something like this if it's a painting. Also, one thing I want to mention is, let's say you get your work of art from your friend and you feel like the type of quote you used is kind of melancholy, for example, or nostalgic. So it's kind of like very emotional. So you may choose to add an additional filter, let's say of blue shade or tint, onto their work of art because it will help contribute to the emotion that you're trying to share. So you can use filters on top of their artwork, but you may not. You may leave it exactly how they've sent it to you, which is totally fine as well. So once everyone has their own original artwork in the versions that included the inspiring message from their peers, you guys are responsible for creating one cohesive PowerPoint. And on the first slide, you're going to have all the group members' names, a title of the task, which is called 2-in-1, and teacher's name, so my name and date. And then I think on the second slide, it would be really beneficial to have just everybody's titles of their piece, of whatever you choose to title it. So don't just one, like come up with something creative. And then you can even have like a little picture beside your name of the one to you, so I kind of know what I'm looking at. And then the rest of the slides need to include your painting for each of you, like the one that you have painted, the original, if you will, and then however many subsequent versions of the altered artworks you have. And what would be really nice is, let's say you on your second example of the original artwork you've done with the inspiring message, you would have the name of your peer who've added that message. And you're going to repeat that process for the entire PowerPoint. And then on the end, you can add a couple of enrichment pieces that I'm suggesting for kind of level 4 plus if you guys choose to do that. One that I've recommended here is perhaps include a little video montage of you kind of doing step by step the painting or your masterpiece. You can also have like all 3 or 4 versions on one, kind of Andy Warhol kind of look. Or you can have a little video or a TikTok video of you painting it if you have, that we can embed in that PowerPoint that you can share. Or you may not have any of that, which is totally fine. It's just something that's an addition. And you do have some questions that you have to answer as reflective pieces for your own artwork. So you can do this in 2 ways. In the past, some students just like to make like a little video that they would embed inside the PowerPoint where they're giving me answers to these 4 questions, or you can just type them up and include that in the PowerPoint. If you find that the answers to the questions are more personal in nature and you would like only me to see them, you do not have to include them in your PowerPoint. You can just submit them in the text of your Dropbox when you are kind of writing to me, or as a little separate Word file that you will attach that I can read as well. Just make sure you do answer these 4 questions. These are the questions I'm asking you. The most successful part of my artwork is, be very specific, reference your actual art piece. I think that the message that fits with my artwork the best is because. What advice would I give to someone doing this project? And I found this challenging. So it could have been working with others, it could have been the timeline, it could have been lack of materials, it could have been maybe your own frustration with the artistic process. Maybe you were like, had a day when you just didn't feel creative at all, but you still have a deadline to meet. So there could be variations of things that you might have found difficult that you can kind of reflect on. One thing I want to stress again, which is something I mentioned at the beginning, is that each of you need to submit this PowerPoint individually for your own grade. And that's really important. So you're not submitting just one on behalf of your group. And your success criteria, what I'll be grading is right here. So your collaboration, your creativity and originality with what you do with the original picture, rendering of the art piece itself, make sure it's done with care, it's not rushed, there's attention to detail. Does it resemble the original image? Yes or no? For this specific assignment, I really want you to respect the color scheme that's already present there. We're going to have lots of assignments where you get to choose your own color schemes and color variations. But for this specific activity, I would like you to follow the exact shades and tints, so the darkness and the lightness of the colors that are present there, unless you're doing a drawing, in which case you're doing values, so darker values or lighter values. How does your chosen inspiring message match that of your peers' artwork? So your contribution to the images that they're there, and then make sure that you answer all of the questions that I've just read to you in full answers in depth, not just like a single word answer. So if you're looking at kind of how long does it have to be? I would say if you do a good quality job with these 4 questions, it should be at least half a page to a page. And then on the end, you're going to see the images of all the 3 works of art that I have chosen for you for this assignment. So again, I'm going to be creating your teams momentarily, and I want you to get started on this as soon as you can. And I know I've already sent you your sketch assignment number 1, which you already have. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon on Monday at 9. Take care.